Hello, my name is Alana Boyd, and I wrote my essay on a commercial from CVS Health. The commercial was a commercial about the COVID-19 pandemic that we experienced as a community. During this time, which began in the early year of 2019 during March, the pandemic then turned into an epidemic, had wiped about 6 million individuals from our population because the virus was so deadly and spread so rapidly. The commercial emphasized for the citizens of a community to get vaccinated to not only help the others around you, but to help and protect yourself. The commercial emphasized many moral practices and many rhetoric strategies such as ethos, pathos, and logos. Okay, so the first rhetoric strategy that I pointed out was ethos. Ethos uses one's character and personality to persuade and convince them to go with what's morally right. It will take and have you ask yourself, is this morally right? What is morally right? And what should I do as a citizen for my community? Within the paper, within the commercial, I noticed that they were showing a lot of the elder community. When the COVID-19 pandemic was at its heightened rates, the elder community was the most affected. They were the ones with the highest deadly rate, as well as the worst symptoms compared to any other population. So the way the author was able to take ethos and incorporate it into the commercial was by having the audience question what is morally right, having the audience question, if this community is struggling, what can I do as an individual to help my community and help my community succeed? And the author did a very, very good job of coming across with that message because they emphasized that one community was affected worse than another, and they want you to pull out that moral compass of what would make you feel better as an individual and how can you help others. And the vaccination is said to be one of the first steps in helping your community during the times. Okay, so the next rhetorical strategy that I pulled out from the commercial was pathos. Pathos uses one's emotions. It appeals to one's emotions. It makes the audience question how they feel emotionally about the situation and what they want to do to help their community. Within the video, they showed many social circumstances that we have lost during the pandemic. During the pandemic, gatherings were not as prevalent, and they really weren't allowed in the early stages, as well as we lost many interactions such as weddings, Thanksgivings, Christmases, things of that nature. In every way, shape, or form, someone in the community has struggled. CVS wants to pull out from the audience, how can you use your emotional standpoint of and use it to better help your community? How can you take the soft and sensitive side of you, use your heart and your compassion for others to go ahead and go and get that vaccine, because if you help yourself, you're also helping people around you. The last rhetorical strategy that was used was logos. Logos uses more of a logical approach towards the situation. They want the audience to think logically, how will this help your community? If you getting the vaccine can save one life, imagine how many other lives it can save. It requires you to look into more analytical and more political standpoints, but it also is from a logistical point of view, and it makes the audience start to relate their personal situations to others, and they also start to grasp the concept of how their one change can be a change for the rest of the community. Within the video, they definitely made an effort to emphasize the fact that this is one of the largest pandemics and epidemics of our times, and whether it is, someone who is older of age or someone who's younger, this is one of the more prevalent outbreaks that we have had within the range of individuals who are living today. The author did a very good job of taking and using that fact that this may be the worst epidemic there is to date. How can you help us improve as a community going forward, starting now? The last In conclusion, I pointed out three rhetorical strategies: ethos, pathos, and logos. These strategies were used all by CVS in this very, very short commercial. But throughout the commercial, we were able to have not only a logistical point of view, but an emotional point of view, as well as a emotional point of view. And the author did a very, very good job of grasping their audience and finding a way to connect with every single person based on their approach and their analysis towards situations. Within my article, I emphasized that CVS did a very, very good job of getting their message across, and they also did a good job of making people question, do I want to get the vaccine? And it will help my community at the end of the day. And this is why, because I'm missing certain social aspects about life that I miss, and I'm missing other aspects about life that I won't get back if I don't jump and get those vaccines. This is how CVS wants you to look at the commercial, and they do a very, very great job of getting that message across. Thank you.